Once again, coming to you live from the driver's seat. And it's Monday. And you know what happens on Monday. We talk about mastery. Because motivation is simply not enough. We need more than good thoughts, people. We actually need to put things into action and make something happen. Now today we're talking about knowledge. Now as I coach people, one thing that I'm starting to find out more and more, and that's that it is not about what you know, but how you feel about what you know. Now, what do I mean? I mean that I coach people who have a variety of different backgrounds. Some have high-level degrees, some have no degree at all. But the one common thread is not that they're not talented enough, not that they don't have the skill to execute the jobs that they want or get the things in life that they want or start the businesses or anything that they dream of. Not that they don't have it in them. It's that they don't believe in themselves. That they don't see themselves the right way. Now, what that reminded me of from a scriptural standpoint was when the children of Israel were about to go into the promised land. And they sent out a scout team. Now, some members of the scout team, they were afraid. They said, man, we can't beat these guys. They look like giants. But there was a few who said we could take them. Now, what we have to understand is that you may see things that are giants, but they really aren't. You may see things that seem difficult, but really aren't. There may be jobs that you think you can't get because you might not have the right amount of experience. You might not know the right people. You have these barriers that you set up that keep you from getting what God wants you to have. And what I want to do right now is I want to take a couple of minutes and just really break down a couple of things that can help you and things that have really helped me. And one of them is realizing that it's a process. It's a process. They didn't go from slavery to the promised land. They didn't go from finished to finished. They went from the small things, which you cannot despise, to a little bit more, which is glory to glory. And then finally, we started talking about the 10 Commandments. And the 10 Commandments are things that, they're just stuff you need to work on, man. And your commandments might be slightly different than somebody else's. You may not have a problem with lying or stealing or coveting somebody's wife. You may have problems with self-esteem. You may have problems, with transportation. You may have problems with laziness. So the things that you have to do have to be specifically tailored to you. So the first two things in regard to that is being able to critically self-analyze a person, starting with yourself. Critically self-analyze a person. But start with yourself. Don't start analyzing other people. Start with you. So can I honestly say, these are my strengths and these are my weaknesses? These are the areas that I need to work on? I should be able to. But just in case I can't, we're going to go out and get some wise counsel. Get some people who are not just our friends, but people who will critically self-analyze us. Why? So that we can get the truth. See, a lot of times you can't handle the truth. But in this case, you're going to have to handle the truth. Get somebody who can be honest with you and say, man, I like doing business with you, but it take you a long time to pay. I like doing business with you, but it take a long time for you to get the work done. I like doing business with you, and when them buts come, don't be offended. Because he chastens the one that he loves. If I didn't want you to get better, I wouldn't tell you where you needed to get better. So again, we're going to find some people that we can reason with and get good knowledge. Same thing that you should be giving in return. You should be giving good feedback. Not critiquing, not criticizing, not hating, but giving good feedback. If you tell somebody they did something good, be able to tell them why. I really appreciated the way you turned in those assignments the other day. Everything was in order. It was nice. It was neat. It was detailed. Exactly what I needed. See, that's how you're supposed to critique somebody. You're not supposed to hit it with you're a great person. What makes me great? What makes me great? I don't know. So again, what we need to do is be able to analyze ourselves and be able to analyze others. And if we can't trust ourselves, if we can't trust the analyzation of ourselves, then we need to find people that we can trust. Now, I'm going to leave it right there for today, and we're going to pick up there tomorrow. But that's the first step. Got a couple more steps that I want to share. But for today, we're going to leave it right there because we want you to get back to work and get back to grinding and making your way to your dreams. But like I always say, to those who have been given dominion, they were born to dominate. Have a great day.